Hi, and welcome to the Wine Bar. Today we have a special guest, my son, Ryan, the Juice Bar. And today we're actually going to bring you a 10-minute stretching routine because doing a lot of exercise and sitting a lot is really important to stretch out all your muscles. So we're just bringing you a nice 10-minute easy stretch that anyone can follow along with at home. So let's get started. Okay, so yes, we were very excited to do a video with Mommy today. All right, so let's start in a nice crisscross applesauce. Right, we're just going to have our hands easy on our knees, right? And we're just going to kind of loosen up our back a little bit. We're just sitting heavy in our behind, and we're just letting our knees go nice and loose, right? So this is just the first thing. We're just sitting here, letting our bodies be in stillness, and we're keeping our back nice and straight. So we do want to sit up, right? Yeah. Okay. And then we're going to go into a little bit of we're going to bring our legs out, right, into a bit of a wedge shape. And we're going to just fold really gently forward, right? So we're just going as far as is comfortable for us, maybe like just a little past, but we don't want any pain in our joints or our muscles. We're just doing a nice easy stretch. I love stretching. I think everyone should do more stretching. I think it's really important for your mobility and flexibility, for longevity and health, to keep everything nice and long, right? So how does that feel on your hamstrings and your calves? Your hamstrings are this part under you. Okay, it just should feel a little stretchy, right? Okay, so now we're going to come back up, give our back a little shake out, and we're going to come to our left side. Okay, so I'm going to bring my arm down my leg, and I'm going to bring my right arm over in a nice little rainbow so that make your legs a little bit wider. Yeah, and so we're just stretching out the side bit of our body. We just want it to be nice and easy and having a nice stretching over to the left. All right. Yep, we kind of want to we don't want to go forward. We don't want to bend our body forward. We want to stay to the side. Yeah, good job. All right, let's come back up. Okay, and let's now go to the other side. So I'm going to come down on my right side. I bring my left arm overhead. I kind of twist my body a little bit over so that I'm more open to my upwards hand, right? You don't have to hold your breath. You want to keep breathing, right? We're just stretching everything out. Okay. All right. Now we're going to come up and we're going to come into a pigeon pose. So we're going to come. I always like to get into it by being in a tabletop. So come into tabletop, and then I'm going to take my right leg and bring it forwards so it's bent, yeah, on your shin, and then we're going to kind of get into this nice little pose where we can really feel a stretch on the side of our leg here. So how does that feel for you? It doesn't hurt. Does it feel nice and stretchy? Right, so we really want to release our hip in this pose, right? Okay, so I'm coming down on my elbows. You might want to come down on your elbows as well, right? To really give a release to that hip. You know, what are all of the games and stuff that you play at camp? You're mostly running around, right?
My favorite game is Medic.
Your favorite game is Medic, and that is a lot of running and dodging people, right? Yeah. Yeah, so you're using a lot of your lower body muscles, right? So we want to make sure that they get nice and stretched and released. All right, so now we're going to come out of this pigeon. I kind of just roll onto my hip, and now we're going to just do the other side. Ready? So left leg up. I can't get it directly across parallel to my shoulders, so I have it a little bit more towards my right leg. And then I'm going to come down onto my elbows, and I'm going to let that left leg and hip have a real release. Right? You kind of want to be a little on the side of your leg, like on the outside of your leg. You want to be resting, like, yeah. And then you want to go like that. Okay. No, it's okay. We're just all in different levels of stretching here. Okay, so we're just letting this release. Now, I was thinking about what kind of wine I should talk about today for this stretching, and I think because stretching is very natural and we want to keep our joints nice and limber, we should talk about natural wine. What do you think about that?
Sure.
Do you know what natural wine is?
No.
No? Well, you know, it's a little bit of a contested category in the wine world. Okay, so now we're going to come out of this pigeon, and then we're going to come with our feet directly in front of us, nice and straight. Okay? And together. Okay? So now we're going to do a fold over, and we're going to fold over our legs and go as far as we can go. Oh, this guy can go to his ankles. Mommy can go. Mommy works on this a lot, so I can go a little farther. I want to just go down so that we release the back of our legs right here, right? So natural wine is a category that comes up quite a lot in my regular job as a wine salesperson, and everyone has a different definition. It's very hard to define the category. I think it's a process. How are we feeling?
But this hurts.
Okay, just come down to where you just feel it stretching a little bit. It shouldn't hurt. Okay, so we're just going to stay here for a little bit to release the back of our legs. So, to me, a natural wine is made organically in the vineyard. They don't spray unless they really, really have to. Otherwise, they're going to lose all of the crop. They work with biodiversity in the vineyards, and then within the winemaking, they aren't manipulating the wine. So they aren't adding tannins, they aren't adding acid, they aren't adding mega purple, which gives red wine its color for a lot of the Napa wines, makes it really extra dark and inky. Okay, let's release. Okay, so now we're going to stretch our arms, okay? So I'm going to come back into crisscross applesauce, okay? And then I'm going to bring my right arm across my shoulder, right? And I'm going to stretch out this shoulder. Okay, you got your left arm going, that's good. And so going back to natural wine, a lot of the winemakers that I've spoken to who consider themselves natural winemakers, they don't add anything. They always say that winemaking that way is the easiest thing you can do because you're not really attending to the wine that much. You're not changing things. You're just letting the wine do its thing. And the producers that can do that with their wine tend to have very healthy vineyards because they're not changing anything and they're letting the wine just ferment and do what it's supposed to do. They always have to make their own decisions, but they're not adding anything or taking anything away. All right, let's release that arm. Ready? Let's switch to the other side. This one's always tough because I have the microphone. All right, but I'm gonna bring my arm across. Some of the wine can be cloudy because there's still sediment at the bottom. Some people do take the sediment out. It depends on their philosophy. And for me, I like natural wine that's clean, so I always call it clean natural, which means it doesn't have any funky flaws to it, but it still tastes like how the winemaker wants the vineyard to taste. So it's a little hard to define, and when people go into a store or to a restaurant looking for natural wine, it can be very personal what they're looking for. But for me, this is what the definition means. Okay, ready? All right, let's let that go. Now I'm going to take my right arm, I'm going to bring it behind my neck, and I'm going to bring the elbow behind my head and just kind of release the back of my arm. Right? Ooh, this feels good, right? This feels nice and good, nice and stretchy.
Some of these stretches I do at baseball practice.
They're good stretches, right? stretches we do at baseball practice is very important. All right, let's let go of that arm. See, we're kind of giving them a nice time to release. Now I release my arms. I'm coming back up with the left arm. I'm going to pull it over, and then we're going to finish off with a nice down dog, okay? All right. So I like to do a nice stretch, especially I tend to work out about 30 minutes every day on my own, and I like to include like at least 2 stretching workouts a week, just to try and keep everything nice and over. So our last move of the day, we're going to come into a nice downward dog. So we're going to come back into a nice V shape. We have our heels are facing down. What?
Upside down V.
Upside down V, exactly. We have our butt in the air. I'm going to pedal out my feet, right? Pedal out the feet. You are pointing at the sky, yes. All right, pointing at the other sky if you want to do a little rotation.
I didn't know there's 2 skies.
2 skies? Oh, I meant with your other arm, not the other sky, yeah. Oops. Yes, there is outer space and the sky. All right, now I'm going to walk my feet towards my hands. I'm going to keep my body draped over my feet just for a little bit, stretch out the back of the legs, and then I'm going to have a nice soft bend in my knee, and I'm going to slowly roll up until we're standing. And now we're out of frame, so I'm going to come sit back down, back into our crisscross applesauce. Okay. Oh, he's doing butterfly. He's being fancy. All right, so thank you for joining the wine bar and the juice bar today for a nice 10-minute stretching workout. Really glad you could join us. We hope you enjoyed this stretch. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more content, and I'll see you next week.